My friends, wave bye-bye. Say goodbye. Bye, money. Bye-bye. My friends, say goodbye to your money because one way or another it's going. This is Howard Riell, Riell Truth Item from CNSnews.com. The federal government collected record amounts of both individual income taxes and payroll taxes through the first 10 months of fiscal 2017, according to the monthly Treasury statement. Through July, the federal government collected approximately, $1,312,691,000,000 in individual income taxes. Stop. So if you're voting Democrat, and Democrats say we want to raise taxes, you have a right to ask, wait a second. We've collected more money in taxes than ever before, and it's still not enough to cover your insatiable desire to spend. Why not? But it's not just the government doing it to us, my friends. We're doing it to ourselves. In the Wall Street Journal, U.S. household debt reached a new record of $12.8 trillion in the second quarter, driven by rising mortgage debt, a strong quarter for auto loan originations, and an uptick in credit card balances, which reached their highest level since 2009. Today's report marked the 12th consecutive quarterly increase in household debt as Americans continue to re-embrace credit as the financial crisis recedes into the memory. The total volume of debt is now $1.7 trillion higher than it was in 2013, according to the Federal Reserve Bank of New York's quarterly report on household debt and credit. So, the government is taking record amounts of our money. We're giving away, with credit cards and through other means, record amounts of our money. So what have you got left? You know that Samuel L. Jackson commercial where he says, what have you got in your wallet? Well, my friends, what the hell have you got left in your wallet? The government is sucking up our tax dollars at a record pace, which is why Donald Trump needs to really put the screws to Congress to get them to lower taxes. At the same time, we continue to spend like drunken idiots, which helps explain why we vote for politicians who spend like drunken idiots. My friends, a little fiscal responsibility goes a long, long way. We put Donald Trump in office because he said he would cut taxes, and if Congress will go along with him, he will cut our taxes. The second part is on us. Stop the spigot of spending. Save money. Invest money. You got to live life intelligently. It's Tuesday. I'm Howard Riell. This is Riell Truth. Stick around.
The American Freedom Network needs your help. Please call 1-800-056-45 to make your donation. Or send a check for the money over to P.O. Box 1750, Johnstown, Colorado, 80534. P.O. Box 1750, Johnstown, Colorado, 80534. God bless the voice of truth and freedom on the air. Thank you. Choice City Electric in Fort Collins reminds listeners, out of sight should not mean out of mind. Let's remember our brave men and women of the military by sending care packages to them while they are away. You need not have a specific soldier in mind to help. Just call your local veterans organization. This message is from Choice City Electric in Fort Collins, your electrical and retrofit specialist. Visit them online or call 970-493-4077. That's 970-493-4077.
Beloved, do not believe every spirit, but test the spirits, whether they are of God, because many false prophets have gone into the world. By this you will know the Spirit of God. Every spirit that confesses that Yeshua, Jesus, has come in the flesh is of God, and every spirit that does not confess that Yeshua, Jesus, has come in the flesh is not of God. And this is the spirit of Antichrist, which you have already heard was coming and is now already in the world. 1 John 4:1.
Folks, welcome back to Riell Truth. I'm Howard Riell. On the 24th, we'll be celebrating 9 years on the air with Riell Truth. Hard to believe? For me, too. On Saturday, there was an outrage in Charlottesville, Virginia. In fact, there have been 2 outrages. The one is the obvious one. Here's Tucker Carlson from Fox News.
Good evening and welcome to Tucker Carlson tonight. Assuming you saw the television over the weekend, the screaming, the craziness, the lunatic hell-bent on murdering an entire crowd of people with his car. Everything about what happened in Charlottesville over the weekend was awful. Maybe the worst part was the feeling you got as you watched it, that things were completely out of control. This is what chaos looks like. One man swinging a Confederate flag like a club, his opponent trying to burn him with a homemade flamethrower. All of this happening on a city street at midday and no one trying to stop them. What country was this? Where were the authorities? What happened to the police? Is this America?
There are no police to be seen. Think about it. No, I mean, really, think about it. I'm watching this video, maybe 100, 150 people. They've got a line around the statue in front of a building, probably an official building. They're pulling the statue down. It smashes. Not cop number one. Now, I go along with Donald Trump when he says we have to respect law enforcement. Absolutely. Where are the police? Where were the police in Charlottesville? Where were the police in Ferguson and Baltimore and Chicago? Where were the police at the Trump for President rallies? What's going on here? The police are the ones with the riot gear and the weapons and all the militaristic technology. How can crowds be allowed to do this? And if they are allowed to do this, what other evils will crowds now be allowed to perpetrate? Pandora's box is open, my friends. Evils are escaping all across America. And those with the power to stop them won't.
And the Word became flesh and dwelt among us, and we beheld his glory, the glory as of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth. John bore witness of him and cried out, saying, This was he of whom I said, He who comes after me is preferred before me, for he was before me. The Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 14 and 15. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just power from the consent of the governed. This is the America's News Network. Thank them for doing a great job. Every family to realize that God is dangerous. Sometimes this message comes from the reading call 45-22-33. They're on the air because they care. The uniformed people in Greece. Piccolo's restaurant in Denver reminds us that over 750,000 children were reported missing last year. Over 58,000 of these were abducted by non-family members. Keep an eye out for youngsters at play, and if you see anything suspicious, contact the authorities immediately. This message from Piccolo's restaurant in Denver. It's not only the best Italian and Mexican cuisine, it's the people who care. Give them a call at 303-757-5166. 303-757-5166. Piccolo.
My friends, welcome back to Riell Truth. Howard Riell behind the microphone. I'm not done with this Charlottesville, Virginia business. A third outrage occurred. A bunch of idiots got together and beat each other up, number one. Number two, the police were nowhere in sight. Number three, it's Donald Trump's fault. Because we know if a leaf falls from a tree, it's Donald Trump's fault. If an asteroid flies into the sun, obviously it's Donald Trump's fault. Just like used to be everything was George Bush's fault, now everything is Donald Trump's fault. Here's my colleague Mark Levin on the air yesterday talking about this pretzel logic. My friends, let me offer a suggestion. The guy who was on with Tucker Carlson said years ago, if it wasn't on Walter Cronkite, we didn't know about it. So the people who got onto television, the people who got into the mass media were few and far between, and generally they were educated, enlightened people. These days, every animal with an IQ of 11 can get into the mass media. It's easy to project yourself onto the world screen. And we got an awful lot of people who are just plain stupid, uncivilized animals, and now they're getting the word out. And they're having flash mobs, and they're organizing snap riots. And they're getting in the media, and whoever they don't like, they just take on, whether it makes sense or not. I'm going to let Mark Levin go on, but we're seeing an overabundance of just stupidity. And it's because of the proximity of media today. Let's go back to Levin. Yeah, don't be so confident about that, Mark. My friends, the mayor of Charlottesville bungled this. He could have fixed it, could have stopped it, could have sent the police out and restored law and order. He did none of those things. And so he's blaming the President of the United States. To all my listeners in Charlottesville, why don't you get rid of that jerk and hire a real mayor? All right, let's move on because we're just about to hit a break, and we got to hit it before it hits us. Item from the LA Times. Los Angeles County Sheriff's homicide detectives are investigating the circumstances surrounding the fatal drug overdose of a 26-year-old man at the West Hollywood home of prominent Democratic donor Ed Buck. Sheriff Jim McConnell said Monday that while coroner's officials ruled Gemmill Moore's July 27th death an accident, homicide detectives will be conducting a follow-up investigation based on, quote, additional information. He declined to elaborate, unquote. My friends, funny things happen around the Democratic Party. People get bumped off. Google the phrase Clinton body count, and you'll begin to understand what I'm talking about. Odd things happen where Democrats are concerned. We'll be back.
Animal House Taxidermy in Brighton would like to take this time to say thank you to all the brave men and women in the armed forces who have served our country. Business owners, consider hiring veterans, our most dependable people. And to those heroes back home from missions abroad, know that your dedication, selflessness, and courage are appreciated. God bless America. This message is from Animal House Taxidermy in Brighton, proud to salute the fighting forces of our country. This is Michael, Control. The American Freedom Network needs to make your donation. Or send a check for the money with the PO Box 1750, Johnstown, Colorado. PO 534. PO Box 1750, Johnstown, Colorado. PO 534. Let people voice and freedom on the air. Thank you. Now this is the testimony of John when the Jews sent priests and Levites from Jerusalem to ask him, "Who are you?" He confessed and did not deny, but confessed, "I am not the Messiah." And they asked him, "What then? Are you Elijah?" He said, "I am not." "Are you the prophet?" And he answered, "No." The Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 19 through 21. The associates at your 24-hour Walmart Supercenter about to get the time. No one anywhere is more noble, righteous, selfless, or courageous than our United States Armed Forces. These brave men and women and their families will prepare for our freedom every day. Send a military care package today to let them know that they are in our hearts and our prayers and our thoughts. This message is from the associates at your 24-hour Walmart Supercenter on Highway 207 in Lafayette. They're on the air because they care. Elizabeth Locker Plan and Elizabeth reminds us that the drug problem is well documented. We know our kids will be approached at early age. We want to applaud the youngsters in our community who have had the strength to say no to drugs. They provide examples for churches and families to be the best they can be. Elizabeth Locker Plan, located at 366 Grand Street in Elizabeth, serving our area since 1943 and specializing in naturalized aged beef and pork and complete custom process. Call 303-688-2240. 303-688-2240. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, to ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America.
Some final thoughts on Charlottesville. Coming from Rebel Media's Faith Goldie. She's going to weigh in, and then we're going to hit some news for the rest of the hour. Here we go. Absolutely correct. You know, the easiest thing in the world to get done to you these days is to have some idiot label you this or that. All you got to do is disagree with them, which means intellectual reasoning, argument, the arena of ideas is going by the wayside. Before it slips away, we got to grab it and bring it back. Item from thecollegefix.com. The University of San Francisco this week is scheduled to host a segregated orientation dedicated to black students, a program that takes place in addition to its standard welcoming activities for all students. The Black Student Orientation is slated for August 18th, the day prior to the university's new student orientation. The day-long event, billed as having been designed by black students, faculty, and staff to welcome new black students to the USF Black Experience, will, quote, address the specific and particular needs of African American/black students at USF, according to the school's website, unquote. What a great idea. You know, why not take this idea and run with it? If the black faculty at this university feel that they should segregate blacks out for things like orientations, for proms, for other events, take it forward. Take it forward. Maybe they'd like to have black-only bathrooms. Or maybe they'd like to have exclusively black water fountains. You people are idiots. Item from Bloomberg. Insisting that people are doing better than they were 4 years ago, Angela Merkel made her re-election pitch to a crowd of some 3,000 in the medieval town square in western Germany, a stump speech marred by a clutch of jeering anti-immigration protesters. Unquote. My friends, Germany might be the birthplace of propaganda, but even Germans are not stupid enough to think Angela Merkel's immigration policy has been a success. Ask the women who, back on New Year's Eve, were groped, spat upon, raped by immigrants from Africa and the Arab Middle East. If Germany wants to save itself, and believe me, I have no desire to see Germany save itself, but if they want to, they need to deep six Angela Merkel and put someone with at least half a brain in charge. Item from the local, also from Germany. One of Angela Merkel's closest allies has caused controversy by complaining about waiters in Berlin restaurants who only speak English. But the Berlin Tourist Board is more relaxed about the spread of the global language, unquote. Germans, idiots, if you're worried about non-Germans inhabiting Germany, and if you're worried about other languages popping up more commonly in Germany, then close your borders. Begin to weed out immigrants from other countries. Is no one in Germany listening? Is no one in Germany intelligent enough to understand what I'm saying? Maybe they're not. We'll take a break. More Riell Truth.
And of his fullness we have all received, and grace for grace. For the law was given through Moses, but grace and truth came through Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus the Christ. No one has seen God at any time. The only begotten Son, who is in the bosom of the Father, he hath declared him. The Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 16. Article 4. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall be issued but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the places to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. If catastrophe struck, would your family be prepared? Are you confident you wouldn't react in a panic? Is there one place to get all of your emergency supplies? Ferris Survival encourages you to have confidence through preparation, not panic through crisis. Ferris Survival, located at 3366 South Broadway, is a professional, reputable, full-service business providing quality, realistic preparedness supplies at an affordable price. Go online, stop by, or call 303-781-0343. Ferris Survival. American Fund reminds parents, keep an eye on your child while shopping. Children tend to stray or become lost. This poses an opportunity for a would-be abductor. Please make every effort to keep track of your little ones at all times. If you have information regarding a lost child, call local authorities at once. This message is from American Window Tinting Incorporated in Franktown. For residential or commercial window tinting, call 303-263-4228.
Item from Bloomberg: oil output for major U.S. shale plays is poised to reach a fresh record next month, further complicating OPEC's effort to support prices. The gain is being led by the oil-rich Permian Basin of Texas and New Mexico, where production has risen steadily over the past 2 years. The Energy Information Administration projects Permian output to rise by 64,000 barrels in September, reaching a record of 2.6 million barrels a day. Unquote. All together now. Thank you, President Trump. Item from MarketWatch: sales at U.S. retailers surged in July to the highest level of 2017, aided by strong demand for new autos and Amazon's Prime Day shopping specials. Sales at retailers nationwide jumped 0.6% last month, the government said Tuesday. Economists polled by MarketWatch had forecast 0.4% increase. Unquote. Altogether, thank you, President Trump. Item from the Associated Press: Dateline Atlanta. Americans are plowing money into their homes at an astonishing rate. New, used, and even those not yet built, creating for Home Depot a frenzy of loyal customers. The world's biggest home improvement retailer rang up its highest quarterly sales and richest earnings in the company's history, and it boosted its outlook for the year on Tuesday. Unquote. Altogether now, once again, thank you, President Trump. Item from the Agence France-Presse: Dateline Geneva. A Swiss hotel that posted signs telling Jewish clients to shower before using the pool and restricting their access to the facility's freezer has unleashed outrage and official complaints from Israel. The Paradise apartment hotel in the Alpine village of Arosa in eastern Switzerland is being accused of anti-Semitism after an outraged guest posted to Facebook a picture of a notice plastered outside the hotel pool. Quote, "To our Jewish guests, women, men, and children, please take a shower before you go swimming," unquote, it said, adding, quote, "If you break the rules, I'm forced to close the swimming pool for you," unquote. My friends, I don't know who the Nazi animal was who posted that sign, but there's one person too many on this planet, and I think it may be him. Item from Breitbart. A 47-year-old asylum seeker in the German city of Augsburg in Bavaria has received a suspended sentence for 15 months imprisonment for the sexual abuse of several children, some as young as 5. The unnamed asylum seeker, originally from Afghanistan, is said to have abused several children in the asylum home he lived in over the period of a year. The man found guilty of sexual abuse and bodily harm is said to have used the opportunity of living in a shared accommodation to molest the children, local newspaper Augsburger Allgemeine reports. The judge in the case, Stefan Lenzenhuber, changed the sentence to a suspended sentence, meaning the asylum seeker will not face any actual prison time. Unquote. So, my friends, he abused children, molested children, had sex with children, and he's not going to jail. Now tell me, if you will, that the people in Bavaria deserve to be saved from the fate that is undoubtedly descending upon them. Item from Breitbart. After 2 serious attacks on working journalists by apparent anti-fascist Antifa activists, Virginia Governor Terry McAuliffe is remaining silent on leftist political violence on Monday. Unquote. My friends, if you're not familiar with Virginia Governor Terry McAuliffe, he's a whore and a fool, and he had his lips attached to the Clintons' backsides for years. He's a piece of garbage. He wants to run for president, but when it comes to liberal fascists attacking journalists, he's not interested. Item Monday, while reacting to NFL players Michael Bennett and Marshawn Lynch sitting for the national anthem before the preseason games last week, ESPN, pardon the interruption, co-host Tony Kornheiser questioned the purpose of even playing the Star-Spangled Banner at professional sporting events. Quote, "If you don't want to stand for the anthem, you don't have to," Kornheiser said. "A lot of times I say it in half jest, but I'm getting to the point where it's not even half jest anymore. I don't even know why they play the anthem. I mean, play the Beach Boys. I like the Beach Boys," unquote. Stop! My friends, Tony Kornheiser is a moron. He has spent decades and decades doing nothing but following sports. Well, I just said he's a moron. So what is it that he knows? He knows sports. And that's all that he knows. This nation is already fleeing at warp speed away from patriotism, away from being proud of America. Stop playing the national anthem. We need to start playing the national anthem at more public venues. Kornheiser, the great thinker, makes the point that you don't have to stand for the national anthem if you don't want to, and it's true, you don't. You don't have to use a tissue to blow your nose either. You can blow your nose on the curtains. But what kind of person does that? Item. Establishment GOP consultant and Daily Beast columnist Rick Wilson declared his support for lynching on Twitter on Saturday following a white nationalist rally. Rick Wilson tweeted the following: "I like my fascists the old-fashioned way, dead, hanging from lampposts as we liberate their victims." He posted that on Twitter in response to a white nationalist torch-bearing march in Charlottesville, Virginia, unquote. So, my friends, think of the intelligence here. Rick Wilson wants to stop people from committing violence. So in order to do that, he wants to hang them from lampposts. Genius, right? Item from the Economic Collapse blog. Have you ever asked yourself this question? Ever since I decided to run for Congress, have I spent quite a bit of time thinking about how divided our nation is. Donald Trump has become the most hated person in America. Earlier this year, a gunman tried to kill as many Republican members of Congress as possible at a baseball field in Virginia. And the mainstream media is fueling more hatred for conservatives on a daily basis. I think I was more than a bit naive in thinking that I wouldn't get caught up in all this when I decided to run for public office. It's only been about a month. So far, I've been slandered repeatedly. My wife and daughter have been called all sorts of names. Even our faith has been attacked. I've never seen the left so energized in my entire life. But meanwhile, those of us that are still trying to move the United States in a more conservative direction are facing an uphill battle when it comes to raising funds. If you believe that people like me should be running for Congress, I hope you'll support my campaign financially. Since there's no incumbent running in my district, the race is completely wide open. And if I raise enough money, I'll win because I have the strongest message by a very wide margin. My friends, when we come back, we're going to talk about this. Stick around.
Beloved, do not believe every spirit, but test the spirits, whether they are of God, because many false prophets have gone into the world. By this you will know the Spirit of God. Every spirit that confesses that Yeshua, Jesus, has come in the flesh is of God, and every spirit that does not confess that Yeshua, Jesus, has come in the flesh is not of God. And this is the spirit of Antichrist, which you have already heard was coming and is now already in the world. 1 John 4:1.
No state shall enter into any treaty, alliance, or confederation, grant letters of marque or reprisal, coin money, emit bills of credit, make anything but gold and silver coin a tender in payment of debt, pass any bill of attainder, ex post facto law, or law impairing the obligation of contracts, or grant any title of nobility. Article 1, Section 10. Uniform people agree. Firefighters and 9/11 in Arkansas. We thank them for doing a great job keeping our area a place to live, shop, and raise a family. We realize their job is dangerous and sometimes dangerous. This message from Simply Uniform with Freedom. Call 352-2233. They're on the air because they care. And environmental in America. uniformed people increasing. Piccolo's restaurant in Denver reminds us that over 750,000 children were reported missing last year. Over 58,000 of these were abducted by non-family members. Keep an eye out for youngsters at play, and if you see anything suspicious, contact the authorities immediately. This message from Piccolo's restaurant in Denver. It's not only the best Italian and Mexican cuisine, it's the people who care. Give them a call at 303-757-5166. 303-757-5166. Piccolo.
Now, my friends, in the 4 minutes I have left, let's go over what I just read to you. This is from Michael Snyder, former guest several times here on Riell Truth. He writes the Economic Collapse blog. He's running for Congress. And he writes, the race is completely wide open. If I raise enough money, I will win. Well, my friends, I like and I respect Michael Snyder, and I hope he gets elected because we need good people in Congress. He's a good conservative Republican, but what he says here is right. It's true, and it's terrible. If I raise enough money, I will win. Is that all it takes to succeed in politics in America, just raising enough money? Unfortunately, the answer is yes. Because a lot of voters are so stupid, they'll vote for anyone whose name they see the most times. My friends, think. Think! What if the best candidate for the job is not the guy who has the most money? If you're going to vote for the one who can raise the most money, you're going to vote for the whores. The people who are taken care of by the lobbyists and the special interests. That's what America's been doing for a very long time. And it's dug us into such a big hole that even Donald Trump is having trouble dragging us out of it. Don't just vote for the people who have the most money. Vote for the people who are the most conservative. Item from the Daily Caller. A 38-year-old married Michigan mother of two was sentenced up to 15 years in prison for sleeping with two teenage boys. Unquote. My friends, Americans increasingly are residing in the gutter. If you think there's nothing wrong with a married woman in her 30s having sex with children in their teens, get thyself to a psychiatrist. Not tomorrow. Today. Item also from the Daily Caller. You'll remember how Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton blamed the Benghazi attack on a YouTube video. That didn't work out for them very well, but it was almost 6 years ago. Time to give that old trick another try. From the London City Hall blog. YouTube must crack down on videos pushing violence and knife crime. The mayor is urging tech and social media companies, including YouTube and its parent company, Google, to take tough action to crack down on videos that encourage gang violence and knife crime. Unquote. Sadiq Khan is the Muslim mayor of London. Mr. Khan, if you want to crack down on violence, crack down on your own people, the Muslims. Item. The U.S. will begin exporting more natural gas than it imports during President Donald Trump's first year in office, according to a report published Wednesday by the Energy Information Administration. The country's status as a net exporter is expected to expand well beyond 2017 because of a growing amount of exports to Mexico and a decline in imports from Canada, EIA's report noted. The USA became the world's largest natural gas producer in 2009 after the country surpassed Russia. Unquote. In the years to come, my friends, America will continue to generate more and to export more energy than ever before, making us the predominant world force in energy export altogether. Now, right before we go off the air, say it with feeling. Thank you, President Trump. I will be back tomorrow, my friends, with what will undoubtedly be the latest outrages, the latest fiascos. You know what? Get a hold of your children, find them, kiss them, tell them you love them. Because when push comes to shove, all we have in this world are the people we love and who love us. I'll see you tomorrow. Hasta luego.